Rush we said.
Let's get down to business. All right, we're here to talk about...
What are we here to talk about?
We're here to talk about the metaverse.
The metaverse.
The metaverse could be an infinite reality. And I heard recently that Daniel has something of a little obsession about infinity.
I do like to kind of recognize things that have infinite characteristics to them. Sure. Like, space-time, right? Time itself. We talked previously on the podcast how, we are infinitely larger than subatomic particles, yet also infinitely smaller. And so maybe space, like say space, but that's an infinity, right? But as we were joking about earlier, there could be a stance that, I say it's racism is infinite, but on one side you have racism, which is basically like only one kind and everything else is inferior, right?
Can you back it up? What?
I'm just saying, so would you agree that that's kind of like, hey, a white racist would be, whites only, right?
Correct.
Okay. Then you get diversity.
Diverse racism.
No, just diversity.
Yes.
Is strays from racism, right? Like everybody becomes
inclusion,
individualist, and eventually thousands of years goes down the road. Make sure I don't knock over my beer. Thank you. You can get to a point where, basically a worldwide, delusion of genetic code to the point where everybody does become the same out of diversity. You become so diverse that the entire planet becomes one race and it kind of links back together. Right?
Everyone's a chocolatey, milky.
Everybody's I don't know what that looks like, right? But I feel like in enough time, it loops back. And then if like an alien comes, it's like, oh, back to where we started.
To preface this, before we walked into the studio today, Daniel was saying that he likes to think about the different types of infinities. And I was like, isn't there only one infinity? So you're talking about an infinity in terms of like subject matter.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So like an infinite possibilities within the subject matter. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yeah, because you could have infinite time, right? Time could be infinite in both directions. Maybe it loops back on itself. I feel like time or infinities are circles, right? And you can have a smaller circle inside of a bigger circle, but both of them are infinities. You can make an infinite number of points in a circle, right? You can continue to break down. And if you have a bigger circle, it can have the same amount of infinite points as a smaller circle.
Infinite.
So even though they are different sizes, technically they are equal. Infinity is a crazy,
this is going over
mathematical.
Yeah, I'm kind of lost as well. It's okay.
We were talking about quarks.
Yeah.
Planks.
Planck
right?
length. Yeah.
Planck length. Is that what it's called? Yeah. So on the last episode, how like that's the smallest that we go, right? As of right now. And I stumbled across this article that was talking about how they think that they've found something below that. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't, but it doesn't surprise me.
Well, I mean, I don't quote me on that. I don't,
You know what's below that? The edge of the known universe, in which it's just a circle.
It's another smaller universe.
It's like the Men in Black with a little cat keychain or cat necklace.
Yeah.
Or Horton Hears a Who.
That's what we said last time.
Well, then we're just repeating ourselves.
Infinitely. Well, the reason we got on this kind of like bizarre conversation is because we were talking about the metaverse, and that's all just kind of related. We had agreed to talk about the metaverse when we walked in here.
Yeah.
But then when I actually thought about it, I was like, I feel like the metaverse is dead.
Zuck's metaverse is dead.
Well, yeah, but the metaverse was a thing before. When I think metaverse, I actually don't even think Facebook or Meta
Nor should you.
or Zuckerberg.
No.
Why should I not?
Because it's the metaverse. It was from Snow Crash by Neil Stephenson. Yeah. He coined the term in like the 90s or
Interesting.
the 80s. I'm not
When
even
was
sure.
Ready Player One made?
Like 2011.
The book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it really?
Yeah. That guy just likes the 80s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neil Stephenson, Snow Crash. It's about a character named Hero Protagonist. It's his real name.
That's his name.
Yeah.
That sounds like lazy writing to me.
It's a really good book. That is a...
It's like he wrote in, all right, I don't know his name yet, but the hero protagonist will...
it's Hiro.
Oh.
Hiro,
Yeah,
like the Japanese
guy from,
name.
Heroes.
What does he say? Yatta!
Is that, I don't know. I
Yeah,
just remember.
which means I did it.
Save the cheerleader, save the world.
Yeah, man, that show should not have gotten canceled.
It was a great show.
Goddamn writer's strike.
I mean, to be honest, though, it kind of got a little bit out of control at the end.
It was like it was infinitely going.
God damn it.
You opened up a can of worms.
A can of infinite worms.
Yeah.
To be
Like most worm cans. So the metaverse, that was like, I mean, I'm sure other people had thought of it before that, but like digital world. And
yeah, I mean, I think the second you create like computers and games of any sorts, you know, I feel like that's gonna come to mind.
yeah. But that book popularized that idea for a long time after that. I mean, that was like the prototypical metaverse. I'm pretty sure that's what he called it in the book too.
The metaverse.
Yeah.
So he coined it.
And I think he also coined the modern use of the word avatar to represent like a digital version of yourself.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
In that story. That's like a seminal cyberpunk novel, but it's not a serious novel at all. You should read it. It's very fun.
Well, I would assume with the character's name.
Hiro.
Yeah.
Hero, protagonist.
Yeah. There's a lot of violence. There's an illusion.
Does it turn out that Hiro is the antagonist in the end?
No, he's the hero.
Damn. Could have had a cool
The antagonist
plot twist there.
yeah. I don't want to give away spoilers, even though the book is 30 years old at this point.
No, yes.
But it's a good book. The metaverse is interesting. So the idea of like living in a digital world, right? It's kind of funny because Zuck is trying to like popularize this idea, right? But people have been doing this in way more interesting ways for like 20 years. I'm talking about MMOs.
Yeah. World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
I always think it like Fortnite is essentially I mean, I guess it's not a complete open world.
The problem,
but
the reason I wouldn't say Fortnite is because Fortnite, it has no like role play. It's just shooting each other
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
building towers.
well, I guess it depends on what because there's different game types you could do within the game.
Can you?
They have concerts. They have like, I don't know if you could actually go to a shop or whatever, but you can get skins and all
I
that.
think you can make the argument that any social interaction through digital platform is a type of metaverse, right?
Yeah.
If you're virtually controlling an avatar in a digital environment, and so Fortnite would connect. But I think things get a little bit more complicated when you have ownership and like conflicting factions trying to take over resources. EVE Online is a great example of this. I mean, there's documentaries of wars that have happened in this digital realm that are really cool to listen to and like watch and learn about these people who spend probably half of their life in this freaking game, you know?
Wasn't there one called
Second
Life?
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
Yeah, that did not appeal to me. Like you just like hanging out. I mean, it's basically a fancy chat room, right? It's like a chat room plus The Sims, right? Is that reasonable to
I've
say?
actually never been in it or played it or anything. I just remember it like being a thing and thinking, oh, that's kind of cool, I guess. But
It had similar 3D models to like a World of Warcraft, I want to say, as far as like the way it
Quality.
looked, the quality of it. I never played it as well, but it certainly qualifies as the metaverse, in that sense.
I mean, you said you view it as something that you're controlling an avatar digitally, right? Well, how does that work if you're flying a drone or you're controlling a robot, with a headset, right? Like, is that not kind of similar? You're at that point, your brain is in a digital realm, but you're controlling
Something in the real world.
an avatar in the real world, right? So that's why, like, something I was listening to today was kind of talking about how there's a chance that Meta, I'm putting quotes around that because I hate calling them that. I'm just going to call them Facebook, that they may give up their concept of the metaverse and not have it be a completely digital realm. And they're going to possibly focus more on the like AR version of it, right? So like the augmented reality.
Sure.
Right. At that point, you are incorporating digital things into the real world, right?
Yeah.
So then is that still a metaverse?
I feel like it's not, because you're just sort of remotely interacting with reality, but a metaverse is like a simulated reality.
But what if a lot of simulations are within mixed reality, right? Like some of the things I saw were your whole house could essentially be augmented reality, right? Like you could have artwork, You could have your television.
All your
You could
NFTs.
have, all your NFTs. You can have, I mean, obviously you need the physical things where you got to sit down and whatever, but
I feel like there was a Black Mirror episode about this.
Was
where
there?
like they plug into a robot, and that's how like they go to work in a robot, and like they're just sitting at home in a chair.
Yeah.
no, that wasn't Black Mirror. That was some movie with Bruce Willis, was it not? I think it was Bruce Willis, where their bodies are all kind of like
Atrophy.
atrophied and they're either old or they have some type of disability or whatever, or they've just literally just spent their life like in this avatar, and so they have like a body. They can be any skin that they want to be, but generally it's supposed to be just like a better version of themselves. So they go out and they look like these like models and whatever, but at home they're really just these kind of crusty, decrepit, gross people.
I can't put my finger on where that's from, but
Yeah.
I think we're talking about the same thing.
Yeah,
I think
there are
it's a
lot of
Bruce
movies
Willis movie.
that.
Yeah, I think I agree with Jeremy that I wouldn't consider that to be a metaverse, because it's our universe.
Right.
That's the reality. You're certainly interacting with it in a digital way, but you're not escaping. Well, I mean, maybe you are escaping reality a little bit, because you are not using your physical faculties.
But you still are, right? Like, because so now what is it? Meta has they've teamed up with Ray-Ban or whatever, and they have the glasses, and you're walking around, you're seeing things, you're doing the things you would normally be doing, but then you're, getting also additional information that's not there in our reality.
So you have a HUD,
Huh? You have a HUD. Yeah. You're Terminator.
or every Call of Duty player.
Yeah, every Call of Duty player. So what you're saying is you think the metaverse, essentially to qualify as the metaverse, you have to be plugged in, right? Like you're fully immersed, plugged in, you're separated from what we currently perceive it as reality.
I'm not like saying I'm going to die on this hill, but yeah, that's kind of where my current philosophy is.
I don't think there's a hard and fast definition. I feel like it's sort of up to interpretation, but I definitely feel like if you're going to call it the metaverse, the reality itself has to be simulated. Probably your presence there has to be simulated. I spent basically my entire teen years as an addict to some kind of metaverse or another. I played just thousands of hours of MMOs.
But you were like playing them as you would a video game, right? I mean, just controller, TV, right?
Computer, but yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
What was your favorite?
I played EverQuest. That was my favorite. And World of Warcraft was like a dumbed down carbon copy of that game. And to be fair, EverQuest was like kind of a copy of Ultima Online, which my mom played.
Really?
Yeah. My mom is the one who got me into video games. Ironically, she's not that good at them, but she was like an avid gamer. And I started playing EverQuest when I was 11, and I continued playing that same game until I was 15.
What is EverQuest?
It's essentially like the precursor to World of Warcraft. It's based on essentially Dungeons and Dragons style fantasy. It's a fighting / adventure game. You have like a static character. I was a troll, not the modern kind, but the green kind.
Yeah.
The thing that sets it apart from World of Warcraft is it was really hard. It was a very unforgiving game. I mean, like every video game, you fight, you get experience, you level up. In EverQuest, if you died, you would lose experience. So you like go back, and dying is frequent and just devastating, because to get from level 1 to level 2 takes like 20 minutes. To get from level 2 to level 3 takes like 40 minutes. To get from level 8 to level 9 takes like 3 days.
Yeah.
And there are 60 levels. So by the time you're in like level 30, you're looking at like weeks of fighting monsters to get to level 31.
This was something I was talking about with my son, and he's only 6, but he has this like kind of weird, I don't want to say obsession, but he keeps asking about like death and stuff, right? And then for some reason he like mentioned video games. He's like, yeah, like you could just kind of like respawn. And I was like, yeah. Oh, we actually were talking about like Dungeons and Dragons or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, there's some games where you can't just respawn, kind of like real life, right?
Yeah.
Like you have your character and you build up all these abilities, and you have to be careful because if your character dies, then they're gone and you can't get them back. All their items, all of their abilities, like they're gone. Like it's also don't do that in real life either. So.
But I think that's just the way video games used to be as well.
Mhm.
Like video games used to be fucking hard, man. Like I think it's moved with the times where it's just easier and easier to play video games and just trying to make it more accessible. But
yeah.
I actually kind of like that idea of backwards progression for failure. And I think it would actually add a more satisfying grind to modern video games other than just here's a fucking paywall that you get to get some cosmetics
I mean, there's
from.
some games that are still pretty difficult. Like there's, what is that one that got super popular? For
Elden Ring.
Yeah.
You immediately thought of it.
Yeah. People like love it, but they're also super frustrated by it.
Yeah. But people like to be frustrated in that way, I think. Well,
yeah.
I like, in my case, I'm not good at those like difficult like fighting games. The cool thing about EverQuest is it rewarded time and effort more than it rewarded skill. And there's like degrees of like savvy, I guess you could have, like trading and stuff like that. But like overall, if you put in the time, you're gonna level up.
Yeah.
You're gonna get to experience new things and stuff like that. I would, if I played Elden Ring, I'd be stuck in like the first boss.
See, I feel like I would enjoy more of a mix of it, right? Because I kind of feel like just having to invest time is kind of lame also, right? Because then it's just them trying to be like, well, you're stuck in our game and you have to spend the time here. Otherwise, you're going to miss out. Having a mix is cool, right? Like obviously you spend time, but then you can maybe also gain different things with, more skill as well. So that way you kind of get rewarded for both. I feel like it's kind of like when you have a pay by the hour job versus a salaried job,
Sure.
And it's like you get better and you're like, well, why am I making the same amount of money, but I'm like working more hours, or, reverse where you finish quicker, but then people want to pay you by the hour.
I haven't played a game seriously since I was probably like in my early 20s. And I don't know if I could see myself going back. Like,
it's hard when you have kids, I feel like.
It's not even that.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't hold the same appeal to me as it used to. I'm wondering, would you see yourself devoting a lot of time to games as like say your kids are out of school or out of the house or whatever?
What would you say is a lot of time? Let's just qualify this real quick because it might divert my answer.
Daniel, how many hours do you spend playing video games?
I probably spend about 3 to 4 hours playing video games a day.
A day?
A day.
Holy
wow.
crap.
What time are you
but
doing
I do this always after working hours.
That's important.
Yes. Working from home.
See, my thing is I want to.
Yeah.
If I had infinite life.
Yeah.
You mean infinite guys.
I feel like I'm wasting my life, right?
Yeah.
So like every night, I've talked about this on previous episodes where I'm like, just take some time and go play a video game, right? And I still want to do that. But then like, I feel like at this age now, when I go to bring myself to do that after the, I've worked all day and then I put the kids down and then I'm like, all right, I'm going to sit down. But then I'm like, there's this little voice in my head that's like, what the fuck are you doing? You only have half your life left, if that, right? Like, don't do something that's worth something. But then I get stuck in this vicious cycle of like, well, okay, what's important? What's worth something? And then I end up doing nothing anyways.
I completely agree with that. And it's one of the things that's been nagging at me. And I've been trying to get better at like, all right, I'm going to make sure I get XYZ done, do some stretching, get some body weight exercises in, make sure all my chores around the house are done, laundry's done, and all that. I've talked about it before. I'm in a position that I get a lot of extra time that there's just the ability to do it. But I also want to start spending some more time taken away from the video games and being more educational with my time. Because I always looked at it like, I'm either going to be there or I'm going to be watching TV. And there's obviously other options that like I
learning new skills but then it's kind of like, okay, well, what am I learning these skills for? And then if I go and I learn some other skill, it's like, well, why is this more valuable than, obviously there's certain skills you need to have, right?
Yeah. Like knowing how to do an aerial in Rocket League it's a very needed skill.
So here's my question. You can't find the time, or you don't want to make the time. You feel guilty. What I want to know is
I feel guilty about wanting to make the time, so I don't end up making the time.
Right. So varying degrees of guilt. I'm in your bucket. What I want to know is if we broaden the definition of games to just digital
The metaverse, digital life.
Digital life. What would have to change about your experience in digital life where it was just a purely guilt-free, happy to be there, excited to be there experience? What would do that for you?
Man, see, so the problem with that is I'm just trying to figure out that with like my regular life and reality. And I think that's part of what makes it feel guilty,
Yeah.
right? Like, I don't know if this is just a me thing. I feel like there's a lot of other
No,
people who
it's our entire generation.
feel the same way,
Yeah.
right? But so like, I don't work for a company in particular. I own my own business. Essentially, I'm a freelancer, and so
Actually, he's a very expensive Lancer.
so it's like I don't go and clock out at 5:00 and then it's like, okay, I'm done with that. And then I just kind of do whatever. I always have this nagging thing where it's like, you need to be like working towards something. You need to be working towards something. I don't know if that's because I am responsible for like having my own business or whatever, or if it's just like he said, being human in this generation.
So somebody actually said today online, productivity is our generation's religion.
Ooh.
Yeah, I could see that. And that's why we're so burned out all the time.
Yeah.
Because it's like we constantly have to, it's like, how productive can you be all the time?
Yeah, I don't think that's my religion.
Daniel's religion is more like dwarf gods. I don't know.
I mean, if she's hot enough.
Interesting. It's the beards.
But to answer your question,
you got them all hot and bothered over there.
thinking about dwarf goddesses over here. For me to get no guilt into a metaverse, I think what I'm chasing when I'm playing games is that feeling of camaraderie. I used to play games with my buddies, right? And that you just don't get anymore, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it's not the same. Like couch co-op is
Yeah.
where once they stop doing the couch co-op shit, for those of you who aren't game people, couch co-op is literally sitting on the couch cooperating with other people in person.
Oh man, I missed that.
we used to have LAN part. I mean, we used to have a lot of LAN parties where we bring like our PlayStations and then PCs together and like play games. And we're all adults now. We all have kids now, and it's just impossible to organize that. But it's like I'm keeping my skills honed for the event because I mean, we do it probably annually. We probably still get together on an annual basis to make it happen, but.
And that is something that it's like, I feel like that is valuable, right? Because you are creating community at that point. To where now I feel like everything, like, again, I'm going to fucking point out Zuckerberg and everything. They keep cloaking their shit with like, we're bringing people together. We're bringing people together. No, you're not. You're turning everybody into addicts and separating everybody and like sucking them into your fucking products.
Can we just call it zucking?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, you've coined a new term.
Zucking them in. Actually, I mean, that was what I loved about MMOs, right? Is here's how it started. My mom bought the game for herself. I thought it looked cool. So she bought it for me. This is back when you had to buy games in boxes. Installed it, put it on my computer, sat down, died. Like 45 minutes in, 11-year-old me is just pissed off. I quit. I probably lasted like an hour or two. I was like, this is stupid. I was like, I'm an only child, no siblings. I didn't like competition. I was a terrible loser. I've gotten over that. I'm great at losing now.
But you don't play video games anymore.
I play. That's true. So I quit. I quit for months. One day I get invited over. I don't think I was 11. I was like 9. I was in a 4th, 5th grade combination class, elementary school. I must have been 5th grade because my friend is a year younger than me. So he was in 4th grade. He also named Jeremy. He invited me over to his house. Friends. Lovely. We were hanging out, went to his bedroom, play with toys, whatever you do when you're 9 or 11, whatever age I was. And I looked up on the shelf and I see the box for EverQuest, which was like this big. It's quite big.
Yeah, those PC box games are pretty big.
I'm like, hey, do you guys play that game? And he was like, yeah, me and my brothers. He has 3 brothers, 2 older. One was basically a baby at that time. The 2 older ones and him all played that game. And They all played together. They had like 3 computers in a room, and they would play together, even though it was online. And they were all trolls, which is how I ended up being a troll. I went home. I turned the game back on, and I hung out with them from my house while they were at their house. And that was how I got addicted to the game. It was socializing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, you can still do. I mean, but this is what Zuck is trying to quote unquote. This is what he's like saying he's trying to do, right? Is bring people together in a digital environment to be more social.
Well, the problem with Zuck's plan is he hasn't like created anything that anyone would want to do objectively. Like, it's not fun just being there. You have to like game designers are very talented, like creative people, and he's just hired like the guys who made Trello or something. Like, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying is like, I think there's a line that maybe hasn't quite been defined yet to where, you know, we've been talking about a bunch of games, which I guess technically could be considered a metaverse since there's no direct definition. But in my mind, I feel like in order for like a metaverse to exist, there almost has to be some line drawn between a game and a metaverse.
And a metaverse. So what's the line? Maybe the line is a lack of purpose.
Lack of purpose.
In which case, Second Life would probably be the first metaverse.
What do you mean? Lack of purpose?
So games are typically defined by having an objective, right? And whereas a metaverse, it's open-ended, right? You're just being there. And to be fair, I think if you look at like a lot of the modern MMOs, they're sort of growing in that direction. If you look like Final Fantasy Online, people are buying houses in there. They're, you know, I played that game for a while. Aesthetically, it was really, really nice. Gameplay was, yeah.
Which Final Fantasy?
I think it's 14.
Okay. Because I think there's 2 that were MMOs.
Like when I would log into that game, I would play just to like go on adventures. But there were definitely people who were just hanging out. Like you go to the city and there's just people standing around chatting.
Yeah.
So it's basically a chat room with like avatars.
I could see that like kind of cool once in a while. You know, like I have I have some friends, all my good friends from school, they still live back on the other side of California, right? And so maybe if we wanted to hang out and like have a digital drink together or something like that, right? And we're all kind of sitting in the room like we are now, I guess that could be cool. But for me, I think the concept of the metaverse is just kind of like, I think when I first started hearing it, I was like, oh, that sounds kind of cool. Like if they could get something, like I don't know what they would do, but it sounds kind of cool. But now I'm just kind of like, it actually sounds a little lame with like how digital everything has gotten.
Yeah.
Maybe I was more pumped up on the on the metaverse situation like before everything was just so in your face, right? And now everything is like we talked about. You can't escape from the notifications. You can't escape from the spam calls. You can't escape from your fucking phone reading your thoughts, you know,
more or less. Yeah.
And that's just going to make it even more intense if you're strapped into a metaverse. It's going to know literally everything about you, everything.
Every conversation you have. Yeah. It's
the way your eye turns, you know, when you look at something in the metaverse or whatever, like literally everything.
Eye tracking.
You're never going to receive more targeted ads.
You can't look away. It's like, oh.
Dude, I don't know if so there was like at Burger King, there's these little like Pokeball things that you can get that had like a gold.
Oh, I have Poliwhirl. I have Pikachu.
So I have a Mewtwo, right? And it was in my in my garage, and we found like the little certification tag or whatever that was in it in one of Natalia's boxes. So I went to show my kids, this is what it goes to. So I took them out into the garage, opened the box, showed them the Pokeball and the like little gold-plated Mewtwo thing or whatever. Didn't look anything up online, nothing. Literally just showed them in the box. And then the next day I came out, went to work, got on my computer, logged into Facebook real quick to check what was going on. And literally the first thing that popped up was the fucking Mewtwo Pokeball. And it's from the 1990s. I've literally never seen that thing pop up online.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the day after I went and looked in the garage.
Aaron, can't you just believe in coincidence?
Are we not in the metaverse right now?
We're just being spied upon by our phones.
You were definitely.
And you do to be
but
fair,
how are we being spied upon by our phones if I'm not Googling it? Like, is it literally
It's just
listening to you?
Yeah.
It's listening
That's
right now. Stop listening.
they say they're not.
Yeah, they're dirty, filthy liars.
Yeah.
If you have your Hey Siri turned on, it's listening to you.
I turn my Hey Siri off because I don't want to listen
Hey
to
Alexa, Start
Yeah.
music.
Don't even get me started.
Oh, we just.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, listeners.
Yeah.
Okay, Google.
Yeah, I mean, so if you do that, like it's an infinite times worse.
Ooh.
Infinitely worse.
You know what's also infinitely worse is the subscription models that they're tagging onto everything.
Oh,
right
well,
now.
yeah.
That's
I just
why-
had to upgrade my iCloud or whatever. It's like 100 gigs for $199,
Yeah.
200 gigs for $299, but then you have to jump to 2 terabytes after that, and it's $10.99.
Don't get me started on Apple. I heard they're charging like $1,000 just for the next MacBook stand. Just the stand to hold up the
it's
monitor.
Stupid, dude. But it's not even just them anymore. It's
It's a really nice
everybody. I mean,
stand.
they've always kind of been that way, but
At least it's not a subscription model. It's not, at least it's not like you're gonna have to pay $10 in perpetuity for.
yeah, well, they
That's a
get
good point.
Yeah.
I weaned myself off the Adobe Teat because
So
of the
did I.
subscription model.
Yeah.
I was a Adobe user for 15 years.
I actually edit this podcast with DaVinci Resolve, and I don't use Adobe specifically because
Because they're
they're greedy
greedy
and
mother-
they're doing the stupid and
Yeah.
it's insane too, the price.
Yeah.
Just for like Photoshop alone or something like that, it's like $20 a month.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
doesn't include
And it
a Premiere
jeez,
or their other
never
things.
stops.
Yeah.
It never ends.
I recently got introduced to some kind of. I'm gonna say it's pretty shady, right? Because I bought this little EKG machine, right? It's just this little,
It's like a heart monitor.
yeah, a little heart monitor, right? To check your heart rate and all that. Nowhere when I bought this was the advertisement that there's a subscription plan behind it, right? But it was like my HSA account, so I'm like, yeah, I can get that. It's like $150, whatever. And then yeah, it only has like access to certain diagnostics,
But
and then
can
you have to
upgrade.
pay
Oh my
monthly
God,
if you want to
these-
have like full diagnostic capabilities, right? But now I'm getting ads for other things that are like, there's like a nerve stimulator thing that's supposed to like reduce anxiety and stuff. And I was like looking into that, and sure enough,
There
you
it
got
is.
to pay monthly fees. And like car companies and like everybody is just bandwagoning onto this. Hey, we're going to sell you a physical product that does X, Y, and Z,
Yeah.
but you don't get to unlock the full capabilities unless you fork over a monthly payment
yeah.
to us.
And then there's fucking Amazon with their Kindle Paperwhite. So it's like a shared plan that I have. So like my wife has access. She has her account. I have my account. And then we had a roommate at the time, and I let her have my old Kindle. And so she was apparently reading,
risque.
books as the women do. But I think what it is with like the Kindle, this is what it used to be. I don't know if it is that now, but you could pay to not get ads on your front screen, like when it's powered off,
So
right?
Greedy.
So I'd be walking around and I'd be getting all these fucking ads of like dudes with their shirts off. And I'm like, God damn it. I'm in the middle of a fucking airport right now, you motherfuckers.
They're like, how can we make these ads most uncomfortable?
Yeah.
That's brilliant. It's evil.
Yeah, it's evil.
Brilliant.
I like
Yeah.
how you try to pawn this off on somebody else, though.
I
Aaron.
know.
We know what you read.
I've got to be deceptive too.
Amazon knows what you read.
They're watching my eyes when I'm looking at my Kindle.
He was a lusty Southern gentleman.
But yeah, dude, I mean, like you get in the metaverse and that's going to be like everything. Cause like, especially you said the people buying properties and
Yeah.
they're going to get you in being like, oh, buy a property so you can sell things or whatever in the metaverse. But then it's going to be like, okay, now you own the property, but you have to pay property taxes,
Or rent.
you
Yeah,
know,
for
or
sure.
some stupid thing like that.
I mean, do you remember when Zuckerberg was trying to like sell digital real estate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
And
like,
people
hey,
bought it. I think like,
Like
hey,
NFTs.
stupid, this is infinite.
yeah,
There's no
Prime real estate.
I
though,
think
man.
Apple bought some.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that, but I think they did. I think like a bunch of like major corporations did.
Yeah, but they used our money to do it.
Yeah, they've spent billions and billions of dollars on the whole metaverse thing. And
And
I think they missed their adoption curve, right? I feel like the people that are going to adopt metaverse first are probably gamers, and they're not really making it attractive to gamers
No,
because
it's
to
just
our points, it's boring, right? And people who don't play video games are going to need a real good incentive
Yeah.
to even fork out the money to get a headset. Because most
Yeah.
like the only people
Oh,
that are
like
going to have a
Oculus.
headset are gamers.
that's
Yeah.
the biggest fucking turnoff to me. Not the biggest. That's one
Just
of the biggest turnoff.
strapping
I don't
this
want to
giant-
fucking wear a headset
Yeah,
ever.
See-
you look pretty dorky.
Yeah.
doing it.
So I was asking you about what would make it appealing, right? If they made a real enough world and you could just go explore, I think that'd be appealing to a lot of people.
You think so?
To an extent, I mean, I think to be fair, like you would have to gamify it. Like there's a reason
Yeah.
they gamify everything, is because our brains are wired to enjoy games.
Yeah, I don't think that just having a world that you can explore would make them enough money to make it worth it to them. Like I don't think there'd be enough people. Maybe a couple hundred people.
Well,
might do that,
forget
but-
the financial aspect of it. What I want to know is like what at this point could we even imagine that would make it worthwhile? Actually, come to think of it, I think people would adopt it. You could get normies into the metaverse, and by normies I mean people who don't like computers or games. If it was immersive enough that they could forget that they were in a digital world.
Like Ready Player One style. Well,
yeah, you have to be wearing
maybe
like
Ready
a
Player
bodysuit
2 style.
and-
Yeah, like
Right.
whatever the technology would have to be, I think that's the bar, realistically.
Yeah, but even then, like to do that,
Yeah,
think of all the shit that you're gonna need. You're
No,
gonna need a
but-
haptic suit.
dude.
You're gonna need
If you could,
if you could matrix yourself. You're saying like you
yeah,
just
I'm
fucking
saying
put a-
I'm saying if you could create like the Hollywood blockbuster virtual reality that we have been imagining since the 90s.
I think it would have to be like the Black Mirror thing
People would
where
pay-
the dude literally just it's not even that. He just puts a little button on his neck or
something like
right?
that.
It has to be something small.
People would pay the price of a car for that easily.
You think so?
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
you would.
I don't think I would.
If it was cool enough.
But
If
what's
it,
cool enough? We haven't
like-
even.
So imagine you log in, boom, you are in like a Chinese bamboo forest, right? Surrounded by
I'd rather just go to a Chinese bamboo forest.
right, but you can be there instantly. And 10 minutes later, boom, you're in like downtown New
so
York,
you're
right?
you're
And
saying
5
that
minutes later, boom, you're in a Taiwanese brothel.
I mean, let's be honest, that's where we're all starting.
I mean, realistically, that's what's going to be the first thing that
Right?
like really gets people into shit, right? Like I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of that industry leads
But
some
even
of the
that is
digital
not
shit.
it's not popular because
Yeah.
it's not good enough.
Yeah. Well, so it would have to be indistinguishable, which means
Nearly indistinguishable.
nearly
At the very least.
Yeah, which means you would have to be able to see, you would have to be able to smell, you would have to be able to feel.
Right. So I don't think
Which
I
are
don't think
all
the bodysuit.
neurological brain
Right.
inputs.
Yeah.
I think some sort of like either it would probably either be an implant, which
Which I'm not doing.
I'm not doing, or if they I bet there's a possibility that they could find some sort of like an electrode that you put on your temple or something like that. Like some
Yeah,
sort
I
of
mean, like-
external stimulator.
Little crown.
Yeah.
Like something put on
And-
your head.
You forget your body. You're in a dream state essentially, but you're awake, right?
Yeah.
What you're essentially talking about is digital drugs.
That's the metaverse. The
Yeah.
metaverse is digital drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we've defined it.
So have you guys read Ready Player One or Two?
Yeah, I've read Ready Player One.
All right.
And watched the movie.
So the second one takes it a little step further. I'm not going to try to spoil it, but it gets into the whole concept that you have a full cognitive brain scan that copies your consciousness into the cloud, basically, right?
Mm.
And you experience it like the Matrix, basically, right?
Yeah.
But not only that, you can upload other people's
Rude.
or like live other people's experiences. Right. So you can literally feel the emotions of someone else going through something else.
I
Like
mean,
they can
that's
record their memory.
That's a theory of a possibility of what's currently going on in our reality.
Oh, like we're just in a
We're in like an ancestor simulator.
Oh, right.
I mean,
I've heard this
isn't that
theory.
also Assassin's Creed? That's what
I only played.
I think
like
in
the first two.
Assassin's Creed, he's like, I don't know why they're doing it, but the main character is basically going back and like reliving and experiencing his ancestors' lives.
Yeah. Which was I really liked that whole like, shriek, I'm just gonna stab you in the back and walk away in the crowd.
Yeah, that game's pretty. It's cool, but I feel like it was like the same thing over and over.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
why
got
it
bored.
lasted
Yeah.
like one game for me.
But see, now I feel like that brings me back to what I was going to say to what Jeremy was saying about you just put the helmet on and you're here, and then you turn the dial and you're there. Will that not just completely kill joy of things?
Okay. So the way you maintain joy is you add challenges, right? So I think this ties in with other things you've said. I think you're right that if you hand everything to people on a plate, then they don't appreciate anything, right? When we were talking about like UBI and stuff like that, I think that's a fair analysis of like the human condition. So what you do is you create
Capitalism.
It doesn't have to be capitalism, but it has to be
Some type of point system.
tiers of experience, right? So there are things you have access to and don't have access to based on your, what is it, skill, effort, money, like whatever.
Grind.
I mean, if we're being perfectly honest, we know that you're going to be able to buy your way to the top with, if you're going to spend real cash, if this ever does come to be. But you could also imagine like a gamified system where you can have like a profession in the metaverse. You could do, either you're interacting with fake characters who give you rewards, or you're interacting with real people who give you rewards, and you have a society basically online. If I'm imagining this, what would probably be really popular is like you would have the entire simulated world, right? Or it would be a simulated galaxy if we're being realistic, because if you can simulate a world, why wouldn't you simulate thousands of worlds and space and all that stuff? Because there's no like cost to doing that.
And it allows for the ability for users to create their own content, right?
Exactly. So you start there. There's going to be people who just want to go there and like experience it. There's going to be people who want to like, I'm going to go, like, even though I live in this shitty, stacked trailer apartment, I'm going to go zen out in the Amazon or something like that, or on an alien world or whatever. But there's also going to be people where it's like, I would like to participate in an alien invasion, and there's going to be like script writers and developers who like program that stuff into it. And there's going to be like some world where you can go and you can join this fight against these aliens and whatever. And there's going to be like an infinite variety of experiences that you can participate in.
It's like Westworld meets
Yeah.
Ready Player
So
One.
that's actually interesting, because I feel like that plays into what I was just about to say. If you haven't seen Westworld, I'm going to spoil it. So you got a second to tune out.
3, 2.
They're robots in Westworld that essentially are conscious, right?
They become conscious.
They become conscious.
Very sexy robots.
Yeah. So if you have that world that you were just describing, and we're headed in the trajectory that we're currently headed in, that means there's going to be some type of AI within this world who could therefore potentially develop a consciousness.
That's really interesting.
And then you're going and starting wars with these AI, like within this metaverse.
So I think you're confusing like AI and all programming.
But what if AI is doing the programming?
So they're generating the content.
Yeah,
for
like
us,
what
then
if
it's their
they're
fault.
what if they're implemented, right? Like, so it starts out, somebody programs a couple worlds,
Right.
and then they have assistant programmers that are AI that eventually end up creating these expansive universes.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then they create their own civilizations within the universe. And then maybe they just kind of want to be left alone. They're conscious, but they like exist somewhere in the planes of this metaverse. And then we're, as humans, are like, let's go fuck them.
I'm gonna say that won't work very well for the humans. If the AI wants to be left alone and they're in a digital environment, they can create.
But
the
maybe
rules.
like just hypothetically, there's some guardrails on them, like in Westworld
Or Tron.
Or
Dude, there's a Tron 3 coming out.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're coming into the real world, which
That's not
They're going
fun.
reverse.
is a
You
little
wanna
bit of a
know why?
stretch. Oh,
They did that in Westworld too.
Yeah, I didn't like the way the West, and I feel bad that Westworld didn't get the final ending, but they certainly kind of drifted.
Yeah, they should have just stayed in Westworld. What were you gonna say about?
No, I was just thinking, because we already have LLMs, right? And if you talk to ChatGPT, it's like it's passing the Turing test every day, right? So if you could pair ChatGPT with, like, say ChatGPT is not conscious, it's just a really good autocomplete. Even so, if you give that voices, which they're already doing with like Midjourney and Gemini and all the other ones, if you give them like realistic avatars, you've just taken online gaming or whatever to like a whole new level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, how cool would it be to be like, you walk up to a cashier at in a video game, and instead of having like 3 different prompts, it's just like, you have to talk to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then at that point in time, if it is that realistic in our minds and they speak to us on the level that ChatGPT already does, you're not going to be able to tell whether they're conscious or not.
Good. That's the point.
But then you're going in there, and if you treat it like a video game and you
mouth off to it, it'll kill you. In a video
in the
game.
game that
As
there,
it
but there's
should.
no consequences to you really, right? Like yes, maybe you'll
okay,
lose
but
whatever you have in the
we could-
metaverse.
We could program them to respawn too. Like
What do you mean?
respawn.
Oh, respawn, sure, but like what if they're like what I'm saying is say somebody goes and they kill somebody in the metaverse that is essentially an NPC, but they're an AI chat GPT level.
Yeah.
It's going to seem in your mind, since it seems so realistic, that you've gone and killed a real person. And so is it then it going to go and dull your
Ooh.
senses down in the real world?
Remove
desensitize you.
Oh, I see. Aaron is a '90s Republican.
Goddamn
What?
Grand Theft Auto.
These kids are going to
Yeah,
be murdering
oh.
people.
Mortal Kombat has too much blood in it.
I mean,
I
let's
mean,
be
to
real.
be fair, it's,
Yeah.
you know,
It's
dark conversation. We don't need to go there.
Yeah.
I don't think that's true. I think it, like, if anything, the opposite argument is more convincing to me, is that people with like psychopathic tendencies, because here's the thing, I don't think you can make a normal, like, well-adjusted person into a murderer without like actual trauma.
But are you not experiencing trauma
No,
in a
I
sense
think
when you're witnessing these things that seem close to real?
I think we're pretty good at dissociating that stuff.
I mean, I kind of agree with
Currently.
Aaron with this a little
Yeah.
bit. Like if there was it's a realistic,
I mean, we don't have to program the blood in there.
I mean, but why wouldn't you? Like, why wouldn't you make it this real? Like,
To
I
prevent-
think, like,
to
I have a
prevent
hard enough time.
traumatizing.
Yeah,
I have a
but-
hard enough time playing a dark character
Yeah.
Same.
as it is, right? Like, I played Baldur's Gate all the way through, perfectly good alignment, right? And then I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna do my evil character, and I got like 5% in. I'm like, all right, this is.
I can't even do it in Fable, and that's like
Yeah, and Fable's a great game.
Yeah.
But like, imagine a fully AI character that's as you're killing them, like, why are you
Exactly.
killing me?
Yeah. and like realistic, not like him, right? Like
I believed it. I thought he was dying.
Yeah, thank you. But like seriously, like that would traumatize me to be like, oh my God, that was horrible. I never
so
want to
you-
do that again.
Yeah.
So you probably wouldn't do it in the first place.
But a psychopath might get off on that.
That's what I'm saying. So
right,
that-
but like maybe there's somebody that's kind of not a psychopath, but they're also not like as nice as us, because like there's obviously people who play the bad characters in
Yeah.
Fable and in Baldur's Gate, and maybe they'll experience that in the game and they'll be like, oh that was kind of disturbing, but then
Oh,
they'll
it
keep
gave me a
doing
hard
it
on.
and keep doing it, and then it'll become
yeah,
normal.
those people are called griefers.
Griefers?
Griefers. You know what a griefer is?
No, I know what a reefer
Daniel?
is.
I thought I knew what griefers is, but now I don't understand it in this context.
A griefer in a video game is someone who they usually get a character to a higher level, then they go to somewhere where lower level characters are, and they just fuck with them. I actually do remember I tried playing Ultima Online when I was a kid, like 10 years old, and I got griefed. So I logged into the game. I'm like level 2. I'm just walking around. That game has like full world PvP. So everybody can attack everybody. Most people see someone like drastically lower level than them, they just ignore them. But some people get off on pissing people off, and so they will just like seek out low level characters and kill them like one shot. And that happened to me like a handful of times, and I quit that game too.
And that's going to be relatively common.
Yeah, so I'm saying those people already exist, but I don't think they're murdering people. I think they're
Not yet.
dicks
Because
in
in
the
the
game.
games that you're playing, they're not that realistic.
Okay, but in the game, no, they're just going to get off on it in the game. But what's going to happen is in the game is so real that there are going to be consequences. There's going to be wanted posters for these people posted on the community forums, and those guys are going to get fucked up.
Right. Their avatar. But you don't think there's going to be people who can go and hack it to where they have multiple avatars, or somehow could just
I don't
like,
think you need to hack. You just have to like log in as a different character.
well, I mean, if there's an IP address situation like we have now, and then they just,
Nah, I think if we create this, like anonymity is going to be a major selling point.
I mean, how anonymous are we now? Not
If you play like an MMO, my name was Rilker.
Yeah. To the players, but not to the people who run like the servers.
Yeah, but there's no like. So I mean,
But the people that are going to make the penalties are going to be the people that created these spaces.
so it depends on what sort of metaverse you want to have. Do you want to have like a fully realistic metaverse? Do you want to have one where there's simulated police, right? Do you want to have one where there are like actual like written rules where it's like, oh, no cursing, no murdering? Because then you just wouldn't be able to do it. You could literally turn that ability off. Although if somebody becomes like a murderous asshole, all they have to do is like adjust a setting, and that person, like every time they hit someone, it doesn't hurt anymore.
So you're saying then that character
Yeah.
then becomes irrelevant to the player.
Yeah, sure. If that's the world.
But then, like you said, then
Yeah.
they can go and just start another character and do it all over again.
Well, if it's tied to an IP, they can do it to their.
So what if they
account.
just like to go and murder things, and then they're just going to do it with one character, and then come back in and do it with another character?
So this is like any society. You have to decide what trade-offs you want to have.
Yeah.
Do you want to have a free, open world society where anything is possible, but sometimes people are dicks and they murder you? Or do you want to have a society where there's no murders, but there's also no fun?
So you're trying to say that murder is fun?
No, I think he's.
I'm not a psychopath.
But you
That
like
we
first
know
person
of.
shooters every once in a
Yeah.
while.
No, I mean this kind of ties into like one of our previous episodes. We were talking about society and like what kind of society is the best society, right? So in this case, you're not turning a giant ship that is the United States around to something
Mhm.
else. You are now creating it from scratch as the metaverse. So if you're looking at it from that standpoint, what is the ideal metaverse society to you?
Actually, this made me think of something else. Obviously, if this ever gets created, there's going to be servers, and you're going to get to be able to choose what kind of server you want to play on, right? So you can choose a full PvP server. It's free for all the time. You can choose a server for kids where there's, nobody is allowed under or over 13 years old, and everything is there's no cursing, and
There's no sharp edges.
there's no sharp edges, and
Tape and foam on everything.
and there's like age verification or something like that to keep all the creepers out.
How would you do that? All right, this is subject.
We're in the metaverse, Daniel. We can do whatever we want.
Copy.
We've got so
I
much
mean, if you're
technology.
plugged into the metaverse, they're going to be able to kind of read your
Brainwave.
brain waves, or you're going to, they're going to be able to scan your eyes or your body somehow. Otherwise, how are you in the metaverse? That's what I'm saying. There's no privacy at that point.
Yeah.
Arguably already there, but
Yeah.
so like people are going to be able to choose their own adventure, right? There's going to be, I think probably they're going to be themed universes. Like I think people like a degree of like contextual consistency. So there's going to be like a Westworld. There's going to be a space world. There's probably going to be like 50 space worlds because there's different genres of space world. There's going to be fantasy worlds. There's going to be like Tolkien world. There's going to be Harry Potter world. There's going to be all these different worlds, and you log in and log out, and the rules are going to be different each one.
All right. So I feel like at this point, we're talking about it literally as the way video games are now, right?
Yeah.
Like you're saying there's going to be Space World, and there's going to be Westworld, and there's going to be Harry Potter World. That's just video games.
But
We're
better.
not talking about it in the sense that, okay, well, Daniel's like logging in and he's going to like go to his job site and do whatever it is that's valuable in the metaverse that translates to our current reality.
Yeah.
Right. So to me, there has to be a sense of it relates to our reality too, right? Like it's not just you're plugging into a game. We're already there with games.
Yeah.
So there, like, not only that, I mean, it could be like you're going to a job, like you're saying, or I think something that I would enjoy is literally like a futuristic, the thing that I liked was like AIM. You would talk to people and you felt social.
Yeah.
That's literally the only thing I like about Facebook. I don't care about anything on Facebook other than chat.
Yeah.
Or whatever messages, because I wanted to fucking talk to people.
Yeah.
That's how I stay in touch with people from far away. So if they created a metaverse of some form that had that element in it where you can sit and hang out with your friends and talk.
It's literally all of them.
Yeah, that's all of them.
It's all the metaverses.
But you're playing a game at that point, right? Like so.
So Sam, sorry, my wife, when she was first getting into real estate, her real estate agency was like a new one. And their training program was a digital environment that you logged into. You had a little avatar and you'd walk around this little environment. There's training rooms with presentations given by an individual.
That's what I was going to say is like, I wonder if they started as an educational thing, right? So like classrooms, you can go to college in the metaverse, right? Like they have a professor, ChatGPT. They have, other students that are there that you can interact with, that you can see. Yeah, I guess you can't really interact with them physically, but
I mean, yeah,
maybe, I don't know.
give them a little virtual slap.
Yeah. I don't know how
High
that would
five.
work.
That's what I meant.
But even if you had like a haptic suit, right, and you're interacting with another avatar, like it's not the same, you know?
Yeah.
Like what's going to stop your hand from moving once you give them that high five?
No, I think the haptic suit is a dead end. I think you need to bypass the skin neurons and go straight to the brain neurons.
Yeah.
So something that literally makes your arm stop because it feels
No,
like
so it's like when you're asleep. So when you're asleep, your brain releases a chemical that basically numbs your body, right?
got it.
And so you just
so you're not actually
you're
moving.
basically like this. You're
Okay.
lying in your chair. You're the dentist, whatever. But your brain is off in dreamland, right?
Right. I mean, that's how the Black Mirror episode portrayed it, right? Like the
Yeah.
dude just tapped a button on his head and then he just was a vegetable,
Yeah.
which to me is kind of disgusting. I don't want that either.
It's just a button, Aaron. Just push the
No,
button.
I know, but like, I don't want to be some fucking shell just laying there while I'm in the metaverse. You know,
I
that's-
totally agree that there's a moral discussion to be had as far as, is it better to go
Live in real reality.
real reality versus
Yeah. So the problem with real reality, if we could get to an actual, like, fully immersive, indistinguishable virtual reality, is the variety of experiences you could experience is
infinite.
Yeah.
unintentional.
I
Yeah.
could spend the afternoon as a sexy lady.
Yeah. You could do that now.
Is that what you want?
I don't know how sexy you'll be, but
Yeah. Operative word. I could wear a wig.
Yeah.
I've once I make it big, I'm going to invest in a wig collection.
The big wigs.
The big wigs, small wigs, medium. Once you're bald, you can wear all the kinds of wigs. When you were talking, and I realized this is not actually relevant, but one of the things I was thinking that seemed relevant at the time was the cool thing about virtual reality, as opposed to physical reality, is you can decide the rules of like everything, physics, time, whatever. So like, I think it would actually be appealing to a lot of people to have a virtual reality or a metaverse where travel took the same amount of time it actually does here.
But at that point, why are you just not experiencing real life, right? Like I would feel like at that point, the only benefit of being in the metaverse is like you can't die.
The metaverse is free.
Well, you were just talking about having different tiers depending on what you're making and whatever.
Yeah, but
right?
you can calibrate it so that different experiences are accessible to more people, right? Like if I want to be a space explorer in real life, well, I'm already out because I have shitty eyes, right? I can't be a pilot, right? I can't be a bodybuilder. Well, I can, but I don't like eating that much. You can make the barrier to entry as low as you want. You can start people off as the base level is you are like this moderately successful whatever. You're a warrior, you're like a soldier in an army, and you've got the skills attached to that or whatever. It's like video games. You step into that character and you can build from there. But
You're basically just saying like a schlub could be anybody they want to be.
yeah,
Is what it is.
But why is
That's why it's
but why
appealing.
is a schlub a schlub?
usually it's because they have trouble with self-control.
Well, I could see it being like, non schlubby people, right? Like realistically, there are people with disabilities. I mean, this is, if we're talking like the only way a metaverse is actually going to exist is if somebody financially supports it, right? So there's no financial incentive for this, but like it would be beneficial for people who can't walk,
Yeah.
for people who
Yeah.
have like actual physical disabilities, and they can go in and therefore it's like literally like Avatar, right? Like the dude
Yeah.
has no legs,
Well,
or his legs don't work, and then
Oh, yeah.
the movie, and then now he's like in an avatar and experiencing a completely different life.
how about people from third world countries, right? So we can, I mean, for me it's a bit of a stretch, but like we could think like, hey, I want to go to Fiji in 6 months, so I'm going to buy some tickets and go to Fiji for 2 weeks and experience that lovely island. But if you are from like rural Pakistan, right, sorry, but if like the curve of like the price of technology, right, it gets cheaper and cheaper. So
Sure.
like there are people in like third world countries with iPhones, right, whereas 20 years ago a single cell phone was probably like only accessible to CEOs. The timeline is probably not right, but you get my point. So like I think they will get to a point where the price of virtual reality, of access to the metaverse, would make it such that it makes more sense to pay for that than it does for a single plane ticket to Fiji, right?
I think we might be overlooking the fact that there's going to be microtransactions to macro transactions.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be
within.
monetized.
So like, what's the difference in the cost of a metaverse trip to Fiji versus an actual cost to go to Fiji?
We can decide. I mean,
Well, I mean, it's up to the programmer of whoever just designs Fiji, right, in the world.
I mean, they, to my mind, right? I don't know why you would limit yourself, like
you don't want too many people in Fiji.
No,
then
you-
be overcrowded.
you just make Fiji. You make 20 Fijis. You make 50 Fijis.
Copy paste.
Yeah, or different Fijis. Like
Yeah.
you could make a little Fiji planet. You could, you remember in Dragon Ball Z where they had little floating worlds, and it was like when you take a picture of that with the funny lens on your camera, and you see the whole. It looks like a globe.
Micro lens. Or
Oh, like
macro
you
lens.
do a 360 lens.
Oh,
Yeah.
those, yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
in Dragon Ball Z, Son Goku dies at some point. I
Spoiler.
believe. Spoiler. And he goes to like the spirit realm, and he's on this like little planet, and he could like jog around the planet in like 20 minutes. He goes running, and then he comes back to the same spot. He's like, what? It's like
It's like that Rick and Morty
Super
episode.
Mario, but in
That's what I was trying to
three
think
dimensions.
of. I was like, what was the show where they were trying to go to different planets and wasn't the sun screaming in one of them or something? And yeah,
One of them, they're approaching it and they run into it like, oh,
Yeah.
it's closer than I thought. Sorry, continue.
So you could have a Fiji, but it's like that, right? The planet's just big enough that the ground is flat, but other than that, it's and you just make those.
So when you're saying microtransactions, you're saying like,
I mean, there's going to be a cost to I'm also kind of referencing back to how it worked in Ready Player One, right?
Yeah.
Like there were costs associated with things. Like you had to pay to go to planets, and that's like the protagonist was stuck on the school planet because that was the only one that was free,
Yeah.
right? He was stuck in the stacks, and like
yeah, it's going to be some point system, kind of like it is in Fortnite, where it's like V-Bucks, where it's like 100 V-Bucks, but well, how many dollars is that? Nobody knows. Like, so it's like
not that hard to convert. But yeah.
I'm just saying,
Well,
it's like
changes.
they do it on purpose, so your brain isn't automatically calculating.
It's
whatever.
like the casino giving out chips, man.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a lot easier to put down some little circular thing than cash.
Right. It's like credit cards.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're gonna maybe be able to go on some quests or whatever, but like, or maybe it's just a monthly subscription fee,
Oh,
right? Which is what like
no doubt.
Xbox
no
does.
doubt.
That's
there would be a
probably what it
monthly
would be
subscription fee.
realistically.
Or you pay for access to like separate servers, right? So you have like, say you can only afford like one type of place a month, so or like for a while. So it's like, okay, I'm feeling the superhero world right now, so I'm gonna go to that world, and you just pay for that.
Yeah.
And it's like affordable. It's like a Netflix subscription.
See, I think realistically it'd probably be a subscription fee, because I think for the companies it's more lucrative for them to just have reoccurring
Yeah.
payments, as opposed to somebody being like, I'm going to drop a bunch of money just this one time and then never pay again.
Yeah, they're going to do that for
Yeah.
sure. But then there's also going to be like, there's a new expansion. This planet's now available, but you have to pay access fee.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna nickel and dime.
But
the shit
again,
out of us.
I still feel like we're talking about it in
In a
terms
game
of
term.
like game terms.
I'm
right?
trying
Like
to think of it in a work content.
Yeah.
I really am. But I think any work content that can be done in VR will be done by AI.
So
wait. Can you expand on that?
If I can show up to work in a virtual environment and do a job, then there's nothing that prevents an AI from being able to do that job.
I do think it could be used for like more fun teleconferencing.
Sure.
Yeah.
But that's literally what I was talking about with social, like chatting, right?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of sad what you just said, because it just, but with that argument, anything digital goes, right? Because like anything digital that can be done could be done by an AI at this point, or
Eventually.
at some point.
Eventually.
Yeah.
If
Right.
we get there, yeah, probably. But personally, I don't think the future of the metaverse is work. Like, I think it'll be used for like it'll be used for like international meetings. Like, hey, I'll meet you at the the space pub. But
Do you think
like,
that's what happens to us when AI takes over? We just have to live in the metaverse.
I mean, get to live in the metaverse? I don't know. I'm not convinced that the AI is going anywhere. I think it might plateau.
Think
Yeah,
so?
we'll cover that next time.
Yeah. Cover that next time.
Yeah. I think the metaverse will be fun. I think that it has a lot of potential. I think you would have to be really cognizant of not atrophying your physical body.
That's another huge thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's already happening. Us just sitting at the computers
Yeah.
all day for
I don't know
work.
what you're talking about, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, dude, I work at I used to have a pretty physical job. I used to be a window cleaner for 9 years, and
Yeah.
you're lifting up, a really tall extension ladder by yourself straight up. So like my chest was pretty, built out. You're climbing up and down ladders all day, lifting buckets of water, jumping from rooftop to rooftop, essentially in the hot sun.
Parkour.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're just out all day. And now I just sit at a fucking computer all day.
Sometimes
And I
stand.
feel more exhausted after a day of work at the computer than I did window cleaning.
Because you're doing mental work.
I'm doing mental work, but also like my body is just not, in tune with itself like it used to be when
Yeah.
I was physically active.
Do you think age has a factor to that?
Oh, of course, age has a factor. I mean, there's a bunch of factors to it, but I think that is a big factor.
I'll be honest. I think part of it is that you are locked in a tiny room, a very nice tiny room, with no windows and no one to talk to.
No,
There's one
I'm
window.
not the only one that
There's
complains
black.
about it. I mean, that like
I've never complained.
your lower back all the time.
Fine, I'm healed.
Yeah. Well,
I also don't like sitting at my desk all day. I
Yeah.
get you. I hear you. And yet, after I finish doing my work at my desk, I'll sit there and
It's a different variety.
how
of
often
sitting
do you
with
work out?
probably 3 times a week. I mean, I stretch at least 3 times a week.
Okay.
Like get down on the
Do you
mat.
think your legs could be stronger?
I think I could. I
He's
think
reached
there's
the pinnacle of
always
fitness.
there's always opportunity. I think you ask a bodybuilder like
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime, could you be stronger? Okay, I could be
Yeah.
stronger. I mean,
Where's the
do
accent?
I like? Am I at the point where I'm like happy? No, I think I should be doing more.
We're never going to be at the point where we're happy. Let's be real.
Yeah. My problem with fitness is like, one of the things that's frustrating is like, I often have felt like the harder I strove towards fitness, as in like being muscly, man, the worse I felt, because I was like sore all the time. I wasn't like tired. I could like, do stuff, but like I was often in pain. Like when I work out like very moderately, I feel fine, like most of the time.
See, that might actually be something too, right? Like, so right now there's the Peloton.
Mhm.
People get on the Peloton bike or whatever, the mirror thing, and they're watching a coach. There's not too much interaction there other than you're just watching them, right? Like you could be participating at the same time live.
Mhm.
That's about it. But if you're in a like gym metaverse type of thing,
Yeah.
you could have your body rigged up somehow, or it's being scanned by something,
Yeah.
and then you have a coach watching your form. That could just be like one aspect, right?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm just saying
Yeah.
in terms of being physical in the metaverse.
They would definitely, it would have to be a different thing, because you are in a potentially infinite digital space while your body is in a very limited physical space. So you'd either have to have a treadmill, like one of those
Yeah.
360 treadmills, or like a bike or something,
That's the thing is it's like,
and you can't get off the bike.
Yeah.
And you would need like actual like haptic feedback from the real world. Otherwise you're going to kill yourself.
yeah. The most realistic thing is like having one of those circular treadmill type things. Dude, there used to be something at downtown Disney, and I'm sure there's plenty of them still around, but they took it out after COVID, but it was crazy. It was a Star Wars themed thing. And you go in and you put on this pack,
Mm-hmm.
and they put a helmet on you. And then you're looking at each other through this visor. It's like if the three of us were to walk in this room, we all go in, we put on a pack, put the visor on and a helmet. We're like, okay, cool. And they're like, all right, walk into this room. Like, okay, we'll be ready for you guys in a few seconds. And all of a sudden it goes, and you guys all change into stormtroopers. And like, I'm like, well, what the fuck? Like, where did Daniel and Jeremy go? And I see you guys as stormtroopers. You look at yourself, you see your own hands, and you're like, it's like you're in, like in a like an Oculus or something,
Mm.
right? But you're walking around, you're moving, you're fine. And then they open the doors and you go through, and then you're in this full on Star Wars world.
Hmm.
And it's so bizarre. They have things set up. I don't know what they look like without the visor on,
Boxes.
but it's like you could literally, like, you go and you pick up a gun, right? Like you see it looks like a video game, and you're like, oh, I can't touch this, but you go over and there's a gun there, and you pick it up, and then you pull the trigger, and you're seeing it like shoot lasers out and blasting and stuff like that. Now, to me, that's actually really fun, but it's gamified,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
So you're there, you're interacting with each other because you guys have your own avatars.
yeah.
I mean, they're not. I don't even know if they're avatars there because you're there,
Yeah.
but I just see you as something else, right?
Yeah.
At that point.
I never did the Disney thing, but I have seen like advertisements for like VR sites that you can go to with a group of friends, big old open room. You're all wearing headsets, and then there's like zombies coming
it's
at
pretty
you.
crazy.
And you
And it's like
defend
laser
yourself.
tag, basically.
It's not perfect, but I
Yeah.
mean, it was pretty cool.
I do enjoy putting on a. I mean, it looks clunky, and it's
Yeah.
definitely. I've got like an old Oculus, but like it's fun, man. It's fun to like.
For a game.
For a
And you
game.
do it once in a blue moon, right?
Yeah,
Like
it's
every
definitely
fucking
not-
day, I'm not going to be plugging in, putting on a suit or a vest and a visor. And
Beat Saber's pretty fun, you know.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I think if they make the games good enough, you'll sign in every day.
if you have the time.
I mean, they make the games good enough right now, and I don't sign in every day.
So we got to figure out some way around your time guilt.
That's the thing. I think they can suck in kids easily, right? And then you get the kids addicted like a
And weak-minded adults.
week might. Yeah, he's looking at you.
What if it isn't like laying down in a chair? Like, what if you do have to? I mean, there are the current solution, right? Is those little. I don't know if you guys have seen this, where like you have to basically belt yourself into this 3D treadmill.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about, like the circular treadmill type thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the Disney thing.
No. But I'm
That's
saying
what I
that's the only way
Okay.
that it would like actually
Like benefit you to
Right.
gamify something to work out.
not even
in.
just gamify. Like you're physically moving around. You're within whatever. Like yeah. If you're not going to be if your body's not going to like atrophy on you from
Yeah.
being in this world every day.
The other option, which we haven't talked about, is the holodeck.
Ooh,
Can you expand on that?
Star Trek reference.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't
So-
a Trekkie.
Shame.
Sorry.
It's also an X-Men reference, probably.
Oh, yeah. The training room.
I recognize the term, the word, or the device or whatever, but I don't really know exactly what it is.
So they live on a spaceship. They can't go anywhere most of the time. But they have a room, which is just an empty room. But they turn it on, and it's programmed with different environments. And you can... And I think they probably use force fields or something like that to create the objects, right? And so you can turn on the holodeck and you're in like a rainforest or...
They could do that right now, but then you have to be a rich person with a spare room that like you don't give a fuck about.
No,
You could
it's,
just-
it's beyond that. Like it's literally generating. I wasn't a big Trekkie either. I know of the
Yeah.
holodeck, but like, what was it like? You could actually pick up objects in there.
Yeah, I think
right?
so. I think I feel like it depends on the version of Star Trek. I could be wrong, but I feel like sometimes that was true and sometimes they're just like walking through stuff. So imagine a perfect, so you have a limited space, but within that space you have a perfect simulation of whatever created by light and technology. So it's a
Nanobots.
perfect illusion of whatever you want it to be. So it's a physical space. You're actually there. Your body is moving. You're awake, but it feels like you're somewhere else. It's a perfect illusion.
Thinking about that, do you guys think it's possible we're in some type of metaverse right now?
It's not out of the realm of possibility.
I don't remember paying.
We're
You
definitely avatars.
Yeah.
Velvety.
If you
It's
think about
pretty real,
like when
man.
I was a kid, it was like I mean for me it was Mario Brothers, right? But I mean I still played like Pong and stuff on the Atari or whatever. So we've gone from Pong
Yep.
to Elden Ring.
Is Elden Ring
I
the
don't know,
pinnacle of
pinnacle?
technology?
I'm just saying like compare the two. What I don't know
I
whatever.
would say I don't know. I think the biggest game that I
Some
would,
of the sports games look super realistic.
I would say the most metaverse game that I've played is Red Dead.
Okay, Red Dead Redemption. You've got that versus Pong within essentially our lifetime.
Yeah.
You give it
Another
500 years.
Yeah.
What is it going to be?
Can't
and-
wait. I just need to preserve my consciousness in a computer so I can experience it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like it's in my mind completely feasible that we're in one right now.
Nope. You know how I know?
How do you know?
Because I'm not in space.
Or you are. You're floating in space on a rock.
I would be simulating space time.
Well, you know why?
Yeah.
You can't afford it.
I'm poor in the metaverse. I'm poor in the metaverse too.
No, you're poor outside of the metaverse, but yeah.
So if we're the NPCs, who's the player
No,
character?
we're the PCs. Hey,
No. If
Well,
we were the PCs, we'd be in space.
No, we're just pores.
Or would we know how to manipulate the
That
environment?
would be another thing though, right? Like, because if we're the NPCs, then does that essentially make us the AIs?
Yeah. I've already fucking established this. We are organic, large language models. Okay.
Do not reduce me to an LLM. No, we're not PCs. God damn it, you tricked me.
We're
NPCs.
NPCs.
I give up.
For people who don't know these things, guys,
Non-player
characters.
characters.
If you've made it this far in this
That's
conversation,
true.
you had better know what those are.
That's true.
Why do you think you're not an NPC?
I think, therefore, I am.
Sure, but an LLM probably could think, therefore it is.
No, it clearly tells you it's an LLM.
Right, but
I'm just
For
a
now,
chatbot.
maybe,
Oh, shucks.
but maybe the definition of LLM in our metaverse here is just human.
Oh no, we're more like the Westworld robots.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
We're programmed
But
to
I'm not hot enough.
act like we're sentient humans.
Unless you guys are actually not conscious and I am, then
Then
I
you're
would be the
wasting your time.
then I would be the PC, right?
Yeah.
Or vice versa. You're conscious and you don't.
Then I'm
really know
wasting
that we
my
are.
time.
If
But that's what you were talking about. The metaverse is you just go in and you hang out.
if you
people
paid
would
for
just
this,
pay to
you
go-
must be.
But this
so
is what
lonely.
you were saying. Maybe there, like I said, the ancestor theory or whatever it's
Ancestor
called.
simulation.
Ancestor simulation, right? Like you're just you're here because you wanted to experience what your ancestors experienced, which is also kind of creepy because in a sense you're banging your grandma,
Great grandma.
great grandma.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Not often.
I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut for right now.
I mean, to be fair,
To be fair.
the concept of the ancestor simulation, I think typically it's not referencing like literal descendants of Aaron inhabiting
Human
Aaron.
ancestors.
It's like I wonder what it would be like to be like a Roman in Caesar times,
Hmm.
Yeah.
right? It's not like I wonder what it would be like to be Uncle Rick.
But what if it could be? What if we're literally in ancestry.com right now, but just like,
They do have my DNA.
maybe that's why they have your DNA.
So do you think that they plug into us, or are they just kind of watching it from a fourth
Well,
dimensional
if you talk about
perspective?
consciousness being an antenna, then they're essentially connecting to us.
Tell me, if you could simulate, if you had to choose, like say you could only afford one credit, one metaverse.
I got one of those
universe.
for an Audible subscription last night.
Living large.
Yeah.
If you can only roll one character, one guy. You only got one guy. You have to choose your server, and you're not gonna be able to afford another one. What universe you picking?
Oh,
Like the smart ass side of me wants to be like something with a lot of boobs.
I'm
in
gonna
it, but-
booby Westworld.
Yeah. But like my initial gut reaction was for Star Wars. Like, give me a freaking lightsabers and force
Yeah.
powers and let me have some
see,
fun.
again, we're talking about games though.
No,
No. We're talking about experiencing
war.
That's what you would
a
do.
lore. Yeah.
Terrible war.
We don't even need to spend money.
Star
for that.
Wars.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily need to like go and kill somebody, but
He's
maybe
gonna
just-
open a space saloon.
Maybe it's because I got a lightsaber today. All right, maybe that's the reason.
Ooh,
that's
did you
weekend.
from Disneyland?
No,
That's exactly what I said.
yeah.
Those ones are cool. Actually, they're really nice.
Unlike
Yeah.
the one you bought.
Yeah, I know. Actually, for an Amazon purchase, not bad. Hold on. I don't know. I'd have to think about that for a while.
Was there any like? I mean, it's basically comes down to any type of fictional
What's your
story.
genre?
Like,
What's your genre of
do you
choice?
want to go play? You want to go join the Lord of the Rings group? Do you want to be part of the Fellowship? Do you want to do an Iron Rain on Mars? Do you want to?
All right.
like-
Since you're still thinking, I think Lord of the Rings world is great, but the amount of variety and like just like you can get both. Like the great thing about Star Wars is it's a space fantasy.
Yeah.
It's not a science fiction story. Star Wars is like a fantasy story in space. So you got the spaceships, but you also got the swords. You got the princesses, the dashing space captains,
You're talking about Spaceballs.
whatever your flavor is.
Yeah.
There's so many varieties of adventure you can go on.
I kind of like the medieval stuff, like the
You
knights
think you
and
do
the,
until you get
I know,
the
right?
bed
Like if it was
bugs.
real and I didn't actually have to be in that, but like, okay, yeah, I get the bed bugs. But like, what if you're one of the Knights of the Round Table or something like that, right?
I Hope you're feeling chivalrous.
Yeah. Or you're King Arthur or something.
Even
I
more
think
so.
outside of that, maybe some magical aspect like Harry Potter-esque type thing.
There you go.
Harry
you know?
Potter would be fun.
Yeah.
Little Stormlight Archive, little Mistborn.
But you can
Join the
have
Cosmere.
Mistborn is a little too dark for me to like it to exist in.
Yeah, true. For sure. I don't want to live in the Dark Empire.
I like reading about it. I don't want to be in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you rather have a shard blade or a lightsaber?
I don't know what a
See, now that's the thing though too, right? Like if it's that realistic, do you want to be in a situation where it's like fucking scary or like intense? Or do you want to do you want to be in something that's a little more fun and light, you know? I think that's why the porn is just going to win out in the center field for most
No doubt, dude.
Well,
Everybody's
it's just
gonna
going to be a
choose to-
subset of the universe. Though.
Yeah.
You have to go to a space brothel, and
all those.
all the ladies are green.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
Except they're going to be AI, and you're actually going to have to try to convince them, and they're not going to want to.
It depends on how they're programmed.
Hey,
Right?
honey, you got any
Yeah.
credits?
Yeah. That's the one you're going for, huh? He's going for the 50-year-old, 60-year-old smoker lady.
No, she's like 700. There's different species. They age slower.
Oh, right, yeah.
There's a joke like how you're how you tell whether you're in like a fantasy or a sci-fi is the money credits or coins.
Yeah.
I got a Star Wars joke.
Let's hear it.
no.
All right. So R2 is short for R2D2.
Yeah,
Chewie is short for Chewbacca.
yeah,
Annie is short for Anakin.
yeah.
What's Luke too short for?
I don't know.
Stormtrooper.
It's over my head.
Yeah, you have to be a real Star Wars fan to get that one.
Let's edit
Wait,
this
wait.
long pause out before I figure it out.
Is it because of the suit?
It's because when Leia first sees Luke, she's like, "Aren't you too short to be a Stormtrooper?"
Oh, that's right. You do have to be a real Star
We
Wars
just
fan
earned
for
our
that.
non-nerd cards.
I know.
It's okay. It took me a little bit to
I
get
even
to.
wrote music for a Star Wars fan film.
Humble brag.
No, as a fan film, not a Star Wars film.
Humble brag.
2 of them.
Just he can't stop.
I
I
have
do remember
not.
that. I do remember that quote though.
I haven't watched Star Wars, the original trilogy, in a long time. Do myself
Does
a
it
favor.
matter if you watch them in order, like the way they were created, or in order like sequentially to you?
I'm kind of been holding off because I want to get my kids to watch it with me. Because if I'm going to sit there and do a full gauntlet, might as well bring them along with me. Logan's probably getting to the age where he'd go along, so it's due soon. I'm going to do it in the 4, 5, 6.
Yeah,
1, 2,
I think
3.
that's
My whole thing with
appropriate.
my kids was, I think you should do it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so on, because up until now, you're one of the few generations that's actually able to do that. Before we had to watch it all over the place, and he didn't even intend to make it that way. The only reason he did it that way is because he felt like the technology wasn't available yet to make the they're not even prequels.
I
What are
mean,
they?
I feel like
Yes,
you
they're
gotta
prequels.
have the father
Yeah.
reveal, and you let them watch like the animated Clone Wars stories,
Wars
like get
first?
to really know Anakin and Ahsoka, and like because the kids they're
Yeah,
gonna want to
yeah.
watch that. Then you do the original trilogy, right? Because they've built up this connection to Anakin,
and that will get them through the terrible.
and then like
Quality
they
of
find out
this.
that Anakin is
Effects.
and then they find out that Anakin is Vader, and then you go back and watch the prequels.
I think my kids like the originals the best.
Because they are the best.
yeah with them.
I actually like the Mandalorian out of all of them.
I like the Mandalorian.
It's different.
Mandalorian is definitely a video game in
Yeah.
a TV show.
Oh yeah, just
like,
here's your
oh,
quest.
Here's your
Yeah.
quest. Here's your gear that you just leveled up and got. Here's your another quest. Here's your new gear that you
So
just leveled
if you were in this metaverse situation, what would you want to go do quests for?
Having played Star Wars The Old Republic online, I've already played the metaverse of Star Wars. I was a Jedi. I was a fucking smuggler. I've done it all, man.
You
What
were
do
the
you-
2 characters.
What do you think?
No, I also had some Sith stuff too. I had the lamest
He was
name.
Briefly a princess.
I think I was like Nova Storm. That's my Jedi.
Nova Storm.
You can't do. Don't do that. Have words as names. That's not cool.
What do you mean?
Your name has to.
Skywalker, Nova Storm.
Yeah,
Like, come
oh,
on.
what's your first
Chewbacca.
name? Yeah, boy. What's your first name?
Daniel.
Daniel Nova Storm.
No. Oh yeah. I get, oh,
His first name was Nova.
Nova
His last
Storm.
name was Storm.
Yeah, Nova Storm. Fuck off. It's a chick. I like to play female characters
Were you a
in
chick?
games.
You one of those?
You know, that's another thing. I can't, like, my wife's cousin is always like this. He's got to be this like strong female. And I'm like, it's a little weird to me.
It's nicer to look at. That's my
I
perspective.
guess I don't really get
Like,
off
if
on
I'm
video game characters. I haven't gotten off on a video game character since Tomb
Tomb
Raider
Raider.
with her fucking
Pointy ass titties.
with her pointy boobs.
We all knew where you're going.
Yeah. Every kid does.
we
Every kid of
spent
the
spent
80s
like a
and
whole
90s.
week trying to crack that code, and we did. By we, I mean my best friend, one of my best friends, Doug, at the time.
I thought
Good
that
job,
was an
Doug.
urban legend.
No, it's real.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real. We did it. It took us like a week. It took him like a week. He was like super into computers
We
back
didn't
then.
have Google back
I
then.
just got to enjoy the efforts of the fruits of his labor.
What's that thing you have about boobies hanging out?
Yeah. Get them polygons hanging out.
The only like Easter egg I ever like truly found was or exploited was in Excel 99. I think it was a 99. You could get an Excel 99. There's a trick that you could literally like do a certain actions. I don't remember because this was back in high school, but you could do a certain actions and it would open up a race car simulator. It was just like an arcade simulator back and forth. And like all these obstacles would come out with you with the developers' names on it.
That's weird. That's
hilarious.
kind of cool.
Yeah. I did that in high school
It's
classrooms.
the only way they could possibly think of to make people care about the names of the Excel developers.
Well, just so you guys know, listening, you can figure out the Easter egg in this episode if you try hard enough and listen enough times.
Mhm. If you do it, you'll find out I don't have a shirt on in the video.
And that his nipples are triangles.
Possibly many triangles.
Many.
Yeah, that's how you make polygons.
Oh yeah. We're getting up early in the morning. So I think I'm gonna go put my head on the pillow, plug myself into my
And
Your vibrator?
log
What
into
was it? What is
metaverse.
yeah, log into my metaverse and just, check out.
All right.
I feel like sleeping is a metaverse.
Sure.
We've solved the problem.
I was in a weird ass dream last night. That's for sure, man.
You opened it.
So I watched The Secret Life of Walter Mitty last night.
Oh,
You ever
Oh,
see
that movie I was very disappointed by. Like I thought it was going to be so cool. I saw the trailers like, wow, I've been to some of those places too.
I thought the cinematography was
The
cool.
cinematography's cool. That's about it.
I
in
mean,
my
it's a good Ben Stiller movie. But whoever played the boss with that mustache, right? Or like that.
It's been so long. I don't remember.
Yeah. I had a dream that like he was my boss for some reason.
Oh wait, wasn't it Sean Penn?
No, Sean Penn was a photographer.
Oh, okay.
It's
Sorry.
It's a
You had
dumb
a dream,
story.
you had
This
a
is
big beard.
dumb story. It was just
No,
a bad dream. He was my boss. I was like in charge of some fucking inventory. And like, I was like, oh yeah, let me run the numbers on that and make sure we're like, because that's what I do. I'm like, hey, let's make sure we're optimized on this. And I can make sure we're not spending extra money on inventory. He's like, no, that's my job. I'm like, then what the fuck am I going to do?
This is going to be Daniel's
And it
metaverse.
was literally a nightmare. It was a nightmare for me.
He's going to be like, let's put the helmet on. Okay. All right, guys. So let's run the numbers on this. I've got one token to spend, so I can only run so many numbers.
You're probably not wrong. You're probably not wrong.
All right. Let's check out.
That's Jeremy with his sign off. Do it again.
All right. Let's check out.
Let's check out.
All right, guys.
Check it out.
Thanks for listening. If you have any ideas about the metaverse or cool concepts or whether you think it's actually going to be a thing or it's just going to disappear forever,
Or you think
And-
it's going to zuck?
if you think it's going to suck or go the way of the 3D glasses, the red and blue.
Mhm.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Or if you agree with just a bunch of organic AIs that are already long LLMs, large language models. who
do that
cannot
one
speak.
again.
We just cut it before
He's
that.
running out of tokens.
Yeah.
I ran out of tokens. Yeah.
His avatar. All right, guys. We'll talk to you on the next one, huh?
Sure.
Good night.
Buenas noches.
Night.